governor's running for president.
Mitch,
I mean, I think, right? Twitter got
the
up
line
finally
drive
put him
right
running
at
for
the
president. And they're going to have the Stanley Cup final and most likely the NBA finals in Miami. Where did that come from? Both out of 8 seeds? Maybe there's something to that whole, hey, it's going on in Florida. Come down and see us. Good morning. Merry Thursday to you. Welcome to the opening drive. On 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Matthew Tkachuk. Maybe you don't know it. You don't know how to spell it. You don't know how to say it. You don't even know what it is. But it's something special. There's playoff Jimmy and this playoff Matthew Tkachuk. I know we don't normally start hockey, but the story that is the Florida Panthers, we're not going to live on hockey, but the story is unbelievable. A team that had to win and get a Pittsburgh Penguin loss just to get in the playoffs, and the run that they've been on going through the best team ever in the regular season and then sweeping their way into the final it's beyond crazy. What's up?
Can I get the country of origin, please? Tkachuk. Use it in a sentence. Tkachuk.
It's when you get something stuck in your throat and you could chuck it up.
Tkachuk it up. 3 game-winning goals, 2 in overtime, power play goal last night with 4.9 seconds left. Just unbelievable what we saw in that series.
If I asked, so somebody who watched everything, and there's very few people, but better playoff, better postseason when you have playoff Jimmy going crazy, right? And Jimmy Butler's been bonkers. And if you want to tell me Jokic or Jamal Murray or Matthew Tkachuk, it's the hockey dude.
Yeah, with that series, he's the best playoff performer so far. The guy with 3 game-winning goals to send the 8th seed to the Stanley Cup. He would be on that list because with what we've seen, individual performances, the guys that we've talked about, it was unbelievable. Like, even his head coach after the game, they were asking him about it, and he's like, I don't know. Like, the dude just is always in the right spot at the right time.
He said, I'm a fan. I just kind of watch him like you do. I mean, it does, that's not a bad thing to be a fan. I just watch him. And they talked about the room and just that guy is that good. We got a ton to go through today on a Thursday. It's good to be back. It's what a crazy week, huh? Between watching the Nuggets. Did you guys focus more Nuggets or Lakers? And I know where your heart is, and I know what it is, but I saw maybe now that there's going to be a big lull going into the finals in the NBA, maybe and the Lakers aren't playing, and I guess it's because LeBron James flirted, and he's not retiring, but has flirted with retirement and threw it out there, and because he's LeBron James. It just, I feel like the Nuggets are getting so slighted. Did you guys talk more Lakers? And I understand if you did, because that's the narrative, and there's so much there. Or did you talk Nuggets?
Talk about 50-50.
Did you?
In the conversation.
Were you surprised at the sweep?
I was. That Lakers.
Well, at what point were you surprised? Well, I guess I should quantify that or qualify that.
I was
going into Game 4.
Yeah, because you're down 15 points at halftime. Yeah. But figured the Lakers would get 1 in that series. Figure out a way to close out one of those games.
And LeBron had like 30 at halftime or something. Yeah, it was stupid, right? He's not retiring. He's not going out and scoring 40 points and having all that left in the tank and retiring. At what point? And I guess it's going to be in the lull, right? Because we could have the finals set tonight if the Heat can win in Boston. But at what point do we start focusing on the Nuggets?
I don't know if we'll get there.
Really?
Because right before we came on the CBS Sports Radio, those guys were like, man, do you think the NBA is all mad behind closed doors that it's Nuggets, Heat? This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt the ratings. They got to be so upset. Yeah, the Nuggets, Heat doesn't have the same flair as Lakers, Celtics. But if you don't know how to tell the story of these teams of this series, that's just on you. Chris Mannix, the Sports Illustrated writer, someone everyone knows about, he said out loud on the Rich Eisen show about the Nuggets. They're just not compelling to talk about. Like,
why
these
is
dudes
that?
are,
because you don't know about
these
them?
dudes are telling on themselves in the national media.
So they actually are, okay? And that's where the national media gets scared. I tell you a lot, just because you don't know about something doesn't mean it's good, right? It's kind of one of my go-tos, because I believe that. Just because I don't know about it doesn't mean it's not good. Just because you don't know about something doesn't. That whole phrase, I never heard of it, doesn't mean it's not good. I never heard of that. Okay, well, maybe you should. Maybe open yourself up. And that's kind of where the national media is with the Denver Nuggets, right? I never heard of them. Well, I don't ever watch them other than that Mountain Time Zone. Like your lazy major New York, LA focus media. You're right. You're telling on yourself, right? My other employer, right? They love the Boston, New York markets, right? They're situated right in between it, and everybody is from there, and so they love it. It is so lazy to me, and I hope the Nuggets get their run, and I think they will. Look, the ratings thing, JJ, we talked about this weeks ago. I'm sure the networks, I'm sure ABC and ESPN would have loved to have LA Boston. The history that's there, Magic, Bird, McHale, Kareem, all those guys, right? They'd have loved that. It goes back forever, and it goes back to Russell and Chamberlain, for crying out loud. Yeah, they'd have loved that. That's two major metropolitan markets that everybody knows about, and then you've got star power. Like half the people in the media can't even say Nikola Jokic or Nikola Jokic, or it's Nikola Jokic. What they can't say it right. They can't say Nikola Jokic, right? And then if they're going to get an 8 seed out of Miami, no, I don't think that's the wrong conversation. I think they're telling on themselves, like you said, though.
And it's the story about Jokic. It's fascinating. The dude was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial in the second round.
so explain that. That was where they went on commercial.
Yeah, they're in commercial, and then when the Joker's name popped up, they were playing a Taco Bell commercial at the time,
and they ran it.
And it's with the 41st pick in 2014 NBA draft. The Denver Nuggets are like Nikola Jokic.
Yeah.
Ding! Taco Bell breakfast, and now he's a two-time NBA MVP.
Yeah. No, it's. I think they're telling on themselves. To be honest, Heat Nuggets would be terrific. Like it would be terrific basketball. They would be compelling. There are stories to talk about. Just because you don't know it, who said that? You said Chris Mannix?
Yes.
Just because you don't know about it doesn't mean it's not good. Do you know how many cool things I learn about every day? Because I didn't know about that. That's really cool. No, your brother's Clay Helton. I guess I should have known that, but I didn't. I met Clay Helton's coach. He's the head coach of Western Kentucky, Tyson Helton. He's a hell of a football coach and knows a ton of stuff. I learned all kinds of stuff the other night, right? You learn stuff all the time. All right, we're open for business today at 505-246-0610. That's the 377 Brewery Hotline. That's how to get to us. 505-246-0610 also serves as the Sports Animal text line, so you can get in there. The email machine is open, and I'll go through them after being gone for a couple of days. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. You can tweet at JJ at JJ Buck. And, of course, the show's simulcast on Comcast Channel 26, our Facebook page, the OD and the AM, and on YouTube channel for ProView Networks. And so you can watch the show there. All right, so tell me, I walk in, and it's like a different world today. There's a dude standing over there. It's DC, what's up? Welcome to the party.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the invite.
Welcome to our live.
Yeah, and again, welcome to mine. It's going to get a little weird, I think.
Yeah, is that all right? Does that mean it's never been weird, or it's just going to get weirder? Weird for you, weird for us, weird for...
Probably a little of both, I would say.
Isn't that all right?
Yeah, it's totally cool.
Just because you don't know about it doesn't mean weird is bad.
No, no, not at all. Weird can be very good.
Good. All right, so DC is you're like are you in the Open yet?
You know what? I don't think so, but it's probably coming soon.
All right, so you have a big party the other day for A-Marie. It was her last day. She's no longer.
You missed a huge part. Pinatas, cake, everything.
No, I saw all on the social media. I saw everything. Big send off for A-Marie to go to the big leagues. She's great. It's great for her, man. She's full time, and she is gonna. You'll hear her over on KKOB. On I don't know exactly what her schedule is, but I know you'll hear her over there, and it's great that she's earned her way over there, and I'm stoked for her, and I'm stoked for us. I'm stoked for you. The time we spent together. I think DC's going to add a lot to the show, and let people just introduce yourself a little. Just give them a little bit of your background real quick, so people when they hear this new voice and they get it and they know who you are.
Well, yeah, I just came here from Denver. I was on a station up there. I was born out in the West Coast. I've lived all over. Lived in Dallas in the '90s. Saw some real big Cowboys games.
Yeah, you did.
But
Cowboy fan.
I'm an everything fan. I'm kind of a free agent. Like I like players, I like teams.
Really?
I watch it all. I study it all.
So you don't have a football team? Everybody, it seems like they kind of do.
If I had to say, if you had to pin me down, it's Broncos. I mean,
right.
I'm a Denver dude.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, just because, well, the Denver thing should be really fun. So are you enjoying the Nugget ride?
You know what? I had season tickets for 12 years.
Really?
And I said, I'm not going to another game till we're in the finals. And so here we are. And I am stoked.
Now you can't get tickets.
Oh, I got tickets.
Are you going?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're just trying to pick the day.
Oh, I got a ticket. You know who I am? See, I think that's what he just dropped. All right, I know who you are. All right, so you'll hear DC, and when you call in, he'll be the guy that you're talking to, so be kind to him. Welcome to the show. But we're glad you're here, and happy day one, huh?
Well, I thank you very much. And yes, very happy day one because we're going full speed ahead.
Yeah, we are. All right, lots to do, so we're gonna. I want to hear from you, and I know I've been gone for weeks, so you'll catch me up. I want to get thoughts on Isaac Mashila, the new 6'5" scorer that Globo has just added, which almost feels like an extra piece, but I got a ton of thoughts on that. The NFL stuff has been popping. I know there was the New Mexico State no charges conversation that came up. But when we come back, it's game 5 tonight in Massachusetts, the Heat and the Celtics. It's never been done before. It's not going to get done now. Even though people are telling you it's getting done, I'll tell you why it's not getting done. Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports
Pop culture and great interviews, and you've got the Rich Eisen Show podcast.
And we say hello.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle.
That, never happened. I want to see something that's never happened, right? Or I love stuff that goes back to the black and white days. You tell me something hadn't happened since Babe Ruth, right? I haven't seen it. It hasn't happened since Babe Ruth. It's not going to happen. I got it. It was 147 times, whatever the number is that teams in the
150.
NBA, that's like 147. So 150. Is that really the number? 150.
Yeah.
All right. 150 times in the NBA playoffs. A team has gone up 3 games to none in a 4-game series, and 150 out of those 150 times, which would equate to all of them, that team who has the 3-0 lead has won. And we saw it both series in the conference final round this year. Lakers went down to the Nuggets 3 games to know, wow, this is the team that can do it. And they got LeBron James. No, stop. And they got swept. Well, the Celtics, because they came back and won convincingly 2 nights ago in Miami, 116-99. There's talk that, all right, here they go. Here's why it's not going to happen. First of all, I don't think Miami's a powerhouse. I think Miami's nice. I think Miami's got if this was a hockey team, they tell you about the room, right? They tell you how good the room is, and the boys are in there, and they just love each other, and the boys they almost got a hockey team mentality to me. And I just think they are, and I've been telling you since the playoffs started, right? I think there's a grit to them. There's there's something different to playoff Miami. I think Eric Spoelstra is a really good coach, and finally people are coming around and understanding that. I don't believe Boston is that mentally tough.
You're seeing that play out. That they're not. And this is really one where we have the conversations going back and forth. How do you quantify at the highest level what a coach can do, and especially the game of basketball when we individualize everything because of what 1 or 2 guys can do on the floor for an entire team. But if you're looking at the Boston Celtics, what is the difference? Well, it's a head coach. Right? They had a different head coach that helped them get to the NBA Finals last year, and they were not as big of a roller coaster ride when it comes to the game in and game out performances that we see from the Celtics. But I also think this is a challenge now, which is it's too little too late from the Boston Celtics, but still, with all that being said, you have all NBA players, Tatum, Brown. You have to figure out a way to rise your game. The waters are choppy, and they waited too long to do that.
So it's interesting. We have so many conversations about the coach in the NBA and the importance of a coach and what it means in and I know I said seconds ago, I think Eric Spoelstra is so good and he makes a difference, and I do. And we have callers all the time call us and say, it doesn't matter. In the NBA, it doesn't matter who the coach is. right? What does a coach do in the NBA? They're babysitters, whatever. I hear it all the time, right? I know you do too. The difference between Ime Udoka and Joe Mazzulla for the Boston Celtics, so that was their coach last year and their coach this year. Do you think that's the difference and why, like, they got to this point? Do you think the difference, if let's just say Ime Udoka's their coach, same coach they had last year, and he had that issue, right? He had an inappropriate relationship with somebody who was below him on the organizational chart in the organization. He got relieved of his duties. He's now the head coach of the Houston Rockets. Do you think he makes a difference? Are they down 3-0 in this series if he's the coach? I have no idea. But I kind of hear that a lot, and I'm listening to it.
Hey, you're talking about a coach in Joe Mazzulla that played college basketball against Jimmy Butler. Just so you get an idea of
how young he is,
where he's at. Like, Jimmy Butler knocked out his team in the Big East tournament. So this is a guy that was thrust into a situation. Now, Brad Stevens isn't Pat Riley. We understand that. But Brad Stevens has been the guy behind the scenes that has been pushing Joe Mazzulla, that gave him the extension, that said, hey, this is the guy that we're going with moving forward. And with all that still being said, the Celtics are still in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they didn't look good in Game 3, got blued out the belt.
Game 3 bonkers, dude. Like, that was... watching it and listening, was it Reggie Miller? Was it TNT game?
Yeah.
And then just tell me how embarrassing it is. And him and Van Gundy were just going, embarrass him. Just when do you pull up off the accelerator? No, hell no. Embarrass him.
Blew him out the belt.
Yeah.
And then so those are the things you see where it's like the Celtics, they must be in over their heads. The coach doesn't know what he's doing, and yet somehow, somewhere they still got the Eastern Conference Finals.
So I don't know, and I'm not going to pretend. So I was in something on Tuesday night. I didn't get to really sit down and study that game, but that one didn't surprise me as much as well. I guess the Nuggets finishing off the Lakers in a sweep surprised me a bit too. There's naturally going to be a 3-0, and everybody telling you that it's never been done before, and basically putting you in the final, right? At 3-0, the media's advancing you. People are already asking you questions about the next round. Naturally, I get that there's a little. All right, I decelled, right? So that didn't surprise me. I'm not even going to be stunned if the Celtics win tonight, although they struggle at home, especially against this team. I'd be stunned if they lose the series, the Heat. And why? Because it's never been done. I just think they are so much more mentally tough. And so when it goes down to the coach, when you watch Joe Mazzulla in press conferences, does he look? And look, any coach down 3-0 getting asked these questions over and over, none of them look happy. None of them. It's like, did you see Dan? Was it Dan Schlossnagel? They had baseball coach at Texas A&M yesterday.
Then the live.
I mean, these guys. They just. I so don't want to be there. They were doing a live interview yesterday. They do the in-game live interviews, and it was the SEC baseball tournament. And they're interviewing him during the game, and he says, "I hate doing these things." Or he didn't say I hate it. I said, I got bad luck. Every time something bad happens, there you go, coach. It's a little pop up to right field in foul territory, and his right fielder dropped the ball like a can of corn, and he just took the headset off every damn time, and he started cussing. But they all look like that, don't they, when they're down 3-0? So I don't know what comfortable's supposed to look, but I'll go back to Joe Mazzulla in the last series. He didn't look comfortable. He didn't sound like a guy that was in charge. He gives you really, really trite cliches, right?
And yeah, he's short in his answers. And this is what people are still trying to figure out with the Celtics, because they were down in that Philly series. They responded. They got that mega game from Jason Tatum, 51 points in Game 7. And then it's not just getting beat; it's when you're embarrassed.
Yeah,
like that Game 3. That's when everyone's like, "All right." Lost the locker room. Dudes aren't listening. Guys aren't playing hard.
They were embarrassed. No, I mean, just run. It's. I don't know. I look at this whole thing and it's like when everybody tries to grasp onto something, right? For the Lakers, it was, well, Mo Bamba's coming back. And I'm like, really? I didn't even know Mo Bamba was on the damn Lakers.
Because you didn't know, Jeff,
right? But somehow that was going to turn the series. It's the same thing to me with this. Well, they won one game. I when somebody tells you this, we had this conversation last week, right? When somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Am I supposed to believe the Celtics are what they showed me for 3 games or one? Which one's more of a trend? The one they showed me for 3 games where they didn't. I mean, they looked defeated. They looked depleted. They looked deflated. Or am I supposed to believe that they're the one that I saw the other night?
Oh, you believe in the bigger sample size, and the bigger sample size has been they've been the more talented team, and so they've gotten to a certain point, and then they went headfirst into the only other team other than Denver Nuggets has been the best team in the playoffs, Miami Heat.
Right. When we come back, people are telling me who's got momentum. What is momentum? Who's got the momentum? Well, they just won. They just won in their building. They must have the momentum. Tell you who's got the momentum and why, and who carries it tonight. That's next. It's the opening drive. Glad you're with us on a Thursday on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
There's a line drive right at the shortstop for out number 3.
Apodaca ripped to left field. That will bounce in, so it's going to be extra bases as they'll have to chase that one at the wall in the warning track. Flipped up, there's no play at home. So it's an RBI double for Andrew Apodaca. Runner at third. High leverage spot. Can Chavez keep the tie? No, that's going to be cracked into left field. It's a base hit as Love puts the Sandia Matadors ahead for the first time today.
The 0-2. It's upstairs, goes to the backstop, and the run will not score. Gun down at home.
Chavez rocks and fires. Ahmed, that's going to be an RBI for Ahmed as that one right through the gap in right center. Petrie will scoop that one, and it's looking like a triple as Ahmed plugs into third base, and what a way to score that run for the Matadors.
Coach Romero barking out his orders there to his players. He's been around the game for a long time. Nice shot to center field. That'll bring runners in. Just like that, La Cueva will bring 3 runners in to go up 3-0. Runner advances to third. Shot to center. That looks good. That's gone. Man, outstanding center shot there. As La Cueva will score. Antonio Lucero, second baseman, quite the hitter. Shot to third, and good catch, and she gets the out. Outstanding play by Trinity Bazan. Nice bright spot.
Costly errors allowed Cleveland to get 1 run back. That one's hit on the ground to the left side. Throw to first in time. Throw home. Got her. Whoa, what a play.
Next door or something. Not sure, but they came out here, and Ellison cracks an RBI out to left field. That's where you got to do it. 1 run, 2 run, and this game could very well be over. It's a play at the plate. It's sliding, and that will do it. The Rams walk off the La Cueva Bears. It's a 3-run batted in shot by Dean Ellison.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Animal.
All right, so momentum's a real thing, right? Momentum is something. I firmly believe that sometimes momentum can overcome talent. Do you agree with that? Sometimes teams with momentum aren't the best team, but win series.
We're seeing that play out in Miami, in the ice and hardwood.
All right, so then the word is, did the momentum shift? It's the opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC on Thursday morning, where we're going to play Game 5 in Massachusetts of the Eastern Conference Finals in the NBA tonight. So, did momentum shift? That's what that's why I'm supposed to believe the series can turn. I don't believe so. Okay, I don't believe so. I believe that Miami toyed with the Celtics, and yeah, they wanted to win Game 4 and close it out. But I tell you all the time, my most desperate team theory. You know, I use that in Mountain West basketball all the time, right? When there's teams that are evenly matched, the team who needs it the most, and the theory is about 90% right, isn't it? It's pretty damn good.
It is a pretty strong theory.
I don't know if I believe that in the NBA all the time, but that the other night, Boston needed it more. Miami was like, yeah, I want to finish it. But there, as much as you want to preach urgency, and Eric Spoelstra could probably preach it, it was hard. Human nature is going to tell you it's hard. Now I think they get a little urgent, and I think the team – I still believe – I don't believe momentum has shifted. I still believe momentum is on the side of the Heat. Do you believe that?
I do, because being up 3-0 is just such a dominating position in sports. That's why it's so few and far between that this has happened in any playoff series, but never in the NBA.
What was it's happened 3 times in the National Hockey League, is that right? Where teams come back? Yeah. People were telling me the other day, like, oh, it happened once in baseball, and I'm like, okay, I don't think the Celtics are that special team. I just don't. And when I look at it, and they're just not it to me, and that's why I think it's Miami. All right, got you guys are already coming in on the email this morning, and DC Omar's a big Cowboy fan. He's been a part of the show probably for close to 15 years. I hope this new guy, DC, stands for the Cowboys. All right. Well, you kind of told them where you stand on that, right? It's going to be a Bronco thing.
Well, you know what? It's not really just a Bronco thing, because the NFL is like the most wonderful place in the world. And, I mean, Dallas is fantastic. I think they've got a lot going for them. And, I mean, I know if I have Micah Parsons, I'm feeling pretty good.
That's fair. All right. Mike said time to build a new shelf, Jeff Alou, with the new guy behind the glass. I think the OD is about to reach incredible heights. You're going to need more room for more hardware that you're about to win. Look, they're already casting you as an award-winning producer. I mean, an award-winning radio show. I'm just saying.
That would be factually correct.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's put up. We can. I don't know. Can we get the TV going first and then get a new shelf?
Maybe. Maybe. Some rabbit ears in here.
By the way, can I backtrack on something? I know you guys, and I'm going to guess you already talked about it. The PGA Championship over the weekend. Do you guys talk about it a lot? What do you think of Brooks winning? First of all,
I think it's fantastic because that dude is unbelievable. The way he can raise his game on the biggest stage.
Right. He is damn near won the Masters. He had a kind of a Sunday swoon and fell off. And he was so confident in the way he said, I know what I did. Amanda, I'm not going to tell you what I did. I'm not giving away my secrets, but he was solid. How good was the Robert Block story? Robert Block was the club pro from Southern California who finished top 15, who qualified for next year, who got invited to Colonial and is going to play this week. The guy who made putt after putt, who slam dunked a hole-in-one on 15. Like, honestly, that was that might be the coolest guy I've ever seen. The way he handled it. Did you guys watch this?
Storybook, PGA Championship and a club pro out there finishing in the top 15 and get back to next year's PGA Championship thanks to a hole-in-one.
Isn't it crazy? And a hole-in-one, when was the last time you saw a hole-in-one like that? Like a dunked hole-in-one?
Never, and it's amazing. It changed guy's life in one swing.
So I don't know if this is out yet. I don't know if it's. I think it's true. I'm not reporting this as fact, but it makes sense. And the people who told me this over the last couple of days tend to know their stuff. I heard Liv's offered him a spot, offered him $1 million to join. Now $1 million seems like pretty light after what they're throwing around, but I mean he's not $100 million guy, and his story might just vanquish. And I've heard Ping's offered him $1 million on a sponsor.
Sign those right now.
And you think that's as high as it gets? So would you go to Liv? I mean,
if they are saying here's $1 million check right now, yes.
$1 million isn't going to go very far where he lives. I mean, I don't honestly. I mean, he lives in Orange County. Like I would say, you know what? If he can get 5 out of Liv, don't you think? Saturdays you're throwing around money like it's water, right? So here's why I love that story so much, because of the way he reacted to it all. Like it never. Did you ever feel that the moment was too big for that guy?
I thought it felt like he was really trying to
soak it in.
But I also feel like he was really forcing, like, I want to be like the all shucks guy, not.
So you felt that was forced?
I think he was really just focusing, trying to stay in the moment. Like when he hit the hole-in-one, he's like, "No, wait, no, I didn't get a hole-in-one." It's like, yeah, you did, man. Like,
why is Rory hugging?
Enjoy it, like.
Well, and what do you do? Like, right? It's got to be crazy. If you're with your buddies, you bounce around, you high five. You're playing with Rory McIlroy in like the third to last group on Sunday at a major, and you just dunked a hole-in-one on 15, and Rory McIlroy's hugging you, and I don't know how you're even supposed to act. And I would tell you, kind of like he did, right? Because
I'm amazed. Like it's at some point you're like, this can't be real,
right?
Like you're in the 4th round of a major tournament and you're getting a hole-in-one. You're like,
all right, maybe on Thursday and Friday it's real. Okay, gosh, I made the cut, right? I mean, David Muddett has been on our show a bunch over the last bunch of years, right? The local pro who's made that tournament the same way Robert Block made it, right? He earned his way in, but he didn't have the success that this guy has. And maybe after Thursday and Friday, when it's like, wow, I made the cut. Holy smokes. Like, I'm living the dream. Now you're in the 3rd, 4th last group. You're playing with Rory McIlroy. Like more, well, not half your shots at that point, but on the day before they were on TV. Everybody's buying your damn orange hoodies because you're wearing orange hoodies and you're selling out of them. I don't even know how you're supposed to react. And I want you to think of this. On top of absorbing what's going on, right? Absorbing the moment and how to react and you've never been there. Like they tell you act like you've been there, but if you've never been there, how the hell do you act? Right?
Yep.
I've never been there. I don't know how to act. You got to keep your golf game together. Right? You've got to keep your head in what I believe is the most mentally tough game. Right? This isn't a fast reaction game. It's not football you reacting. This is thinking. It's all mental. And you're on that stage, and this is going on. Like, that was maybe my favorite story I've seen in sports, and I can't tell you how long. Watching that dude, and he was so SoCal, wasn't he? He was so SoCal cool, so Orange County cool. And I bought the Shucks thing. So you didn't, huh? You thought it was?
I think a lot of it, too, was him making sure that he was staying grounded.
Yeah.
Because at that point in time, you just hit that hole and you're like, I got to finish this out. Like, they still had 3 holes left.
Did you see the up and down on 18 to finish 15th, which 15th was a big number because it qualified him for next year's PGA Championship? Did you see the up and down he had on 18? He was short-sided on the left, down the hill on the left side. And who was on the broadcast? It was Nance and Dottie and who's Nance's main guy now? Whoever it was. It might have even been Nance who said it might be one of the greatest up and downs I've ever seen. Because he did. He had about an 18-foot left to right putt that everybody was missing low. And he makes the putt to make the cut. It was my favorite damn story. And then when you got to watch him, like, did you see him on Saturday, the interview they did on Saturday? And he's, how many IPAs do you think you'll have? I'm going to have one of them as soon as you guys let me go. He's going to the bar. And I guess he was out in Rochester that night taking pictures and selfies with people and just, I don't know, man. I was one of my favorite stories. It's like your guy behind the counter at your local golf club. And he's out there playing with Rory. And then John Rahm was on. Did you catch the part where John Rahm, after his round, came in and did commentating with Nance?
Yes, I did.
And they asked him about that story, and Rahm says, and how much is he beating me by? Like, this guy, he hits a bucket of balls a week, is what he said. He didn't even play.
Wild.
He hits a bucket of balls a week. It was my favorite story that I have seen in I can't tell you how long. It was phenomenal. This might be one of the worst stories we've seen in a long time. When we come back, can he blow his whole career? He was about set to be the face of the league. Is he ready to blow it all? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your coverage from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Point of clarification on the text line. I appreciate that. It's Michael Block, not Robert. I think I called him Robert Block. His name's Michael Block. Still my favorite damn story I've seen in a long time. What a golf note. Congratulations. You're talking about UNM finishing 9th in the country in the national tournament of women's golf. Best finish in 25 years. Jill's team played really, really well. So congratulations to them. The men will go tomorrow at Greyhawk at the NCAA championship. So it's a good time to be a Lobo, especially if you're playing golf. But that was great. All right. I don't know. This story, we go from one of my favorites to this one's so concerning on so many levels. John Morant was set to be, wouldn't you say, if not the face, one of the faces of this next generation of NBA?
Yeah, 23-year-old star.
23-year-old dynamic star with 6 skills, right? Drafted 2nd overall. Had his team as the number 2 seed in the West. And then you're familiar with what's gone down. He had the gun incident at the strip club in Denver, was suspended for 8 games. A gun incident on a video. Again, and I've heard it's not illegal. It kind of is in a club. Actually, it is. But the one in Tennessee is an illegal, Jeff. It's okay. That's not what the league wants as their image. Now, you can tell me that they need to evolve their image, and you can tell me that they need to accept, and they don't have to do that. That's not what they want their image to be, nor should they. And so they're holding John Morant accountable. The tweets that came out yesterday, this would be concerning if it was your buddy, would it not? If you're just someone you know, put out, you knew they were going through some stuff, right? And Ja's going through some stuff. Put out a tweet that said, "Love you, Ma. You're the greatest baby girl. Love you. Love you, Pops. Bye." Would that, if that was, I don't know, someone you worked with, someone you know, someone you cared about, wouldn't that concern you?
Very concerning.
Okay.
This is not just a post of, "Daughter, love ya." It's a bunch of love yas, and then you conclude it by saying bye.
So what does bye mean, right? It's cryptic. It's kind of quintessential social media previewing of something really bad's about to happen, right? Now, what does that mean? I mean, you can interpret that. Does that mean he's going to hurt himself? Does that mean he's going to hurt somebody else? What does that mean? And so the sheriff's office, did a welfare check on John Morant yesterday. And he said it was just, I'm taking a break from social media for a while. Okay? He's told reporters that the counseling he underwent in Florida was related to managing stress. Remember that during his 8-game suspension, he went down to Florida and for a weekend to figure it out. He says, I don't have an alcohol problem. I've never had an alcohol problem. I went there for counseling to learn how to manage stress, cope with stress in a positive way instead of, ways I've tried to deal with it before that caused me to make mistakes. That was coming out, end quote. That was coming out of it. When you saw this shit, so this took my concern for this young man to another level. I don't know John Morant. My life's going to be fine without John Morant, but there's going to be some who's aren't, right?
Yeah, this is one where there's a lot swirling around John Morant. And I am not of the opinion that people, the NBA, the world is trying to tear him down and make an example out of John Morant. No, they're trying to get John Morant back on track because there's a lot of people invested in John Morant. John Morant is getting opportunities to wake up to the way he's living his life. Because the way he's living his life, people might say, let him do what he wants. You're flashing guns everywhere. You're going to be asking for a problem at some point in time. And people are just saying, Ja, this is your moment to take a step back. You got to grow up, dude. Like, and miss, you can, like, all this stuff about, well, what about picture of these people with guns? That, like, this is the moment for John Morant. You like guns? You want to go to a shooting range? Fantastic. You can't be flashing them with your boys everywhere and think that at some point in time that's not going to go sideways.
So if you're looking for trouble, odds are you're going to find it, right? It's not hard to find. If you're looking for it, you're probably going to find it. If you're flashing guns and living or pretending to live that life, you're going to find it. You hear stories all the time, right? If you play tough guy, how many times you heard fighters, boxers, MMA guys talk about they walk into wherever and they get challenged all the time in bars, right? All the time they get challenged. Well, you're a tough guy, huh? Well, that's kind of the course you're on here. Are you ready to play that game? Because somebody doesn't just get their ass kicked in that situation. Somebody wakes up dead, right? That's how this game ends. You ready to live that life? To your point, this can't be who he wants to be. And maybe he doesn't know who he wants to be, JJ, right? Maybe, we just talked about Michael Block, act like you've been there before, but I've never been there before, so how the hell am I supposed to know how to act, right? And it could be that. But there's enough people, there's enough resources, he's got enough money to figure this out, and he's just got to want to. What's the very first step in anything on fixing a problem? Recognizing there's a problem, right? Recognizing there's a problem and then honestly wanting to change, right? No, I don't care if it's alcohol, drugs, abusive behavior, stupidity, whatever it is, right? I mean, pick it. No matter what it is, at some point we've all had a change in our lives, right? And the first thing you probably tried to fake your way through it until it happened again. But the first thing you just gotta go, all right, man, this can't happen anymore. This has to stop. Now, Ja, I will tell you, is really lucky. You know why he's lucky? Because nobody's gotten hurt, right? Nobody's gotten hurt yet. A lot of guys, now that might not be true according to some of those lawsuits, right? Because there's a lawsuit that's going on. He's being sued by a high schooler who's alleging that Ja Morant punched him during a pickup game and flashed a gun at a game at Ja Morant's house, right? He missed out on a potential Supermax contract, so he got hurt in his pocketbook or his wallet because he wasn't selected to the All-NBA team this season, probably because, well, he missed 8 games and because he's got all these problems. His endorsements with Nike and Powerade are kind of in the balance. So, okay, if he got hurt financially, but you guys, I'm not going to lie. I think he's lucky that nobody's been hurt yet.
Absolutely. This is more than just 2 gun videos with Ja that he's got to get figured out.
This is your lifestyle that you probably, aren't all about, and I'm not sure you want to be all about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Ja. 505-246-8255. 0610. All right, NFL OTAs, right? New players, new teams. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if you heard Aaron Rodgers on a new team. He's there. He's speaking. We'll hear from Aaron Rodgers next on the opening drive. What he had to say and why he went to OTAs. He's Aaron freaking Rodgers. It's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number 1 in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
for 5 years running.
It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Not sure what the headline is. Aaron Rodgers is at OTAs, or Aaron Rodgers tweaked his calf during OTAs. Oh no! We'll be ready for the opener. Who's the back? Oh, it's him.
That's why these old guys don't like practice.
I tell people, I always hear people tell me all the time. My daughter is obviously a runner, and I'm always, she got a stress fracture running, and oh, Katie's out running, or whoever. It's bad for you, man. I keep telling you, running's bad for you. That's why they don't go to OTAs. Good morning to you. Welcome to it. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and our new producer, DC, is behind the glass and working for the first day. You guys had the A-Marie celebration over the last couple of days, the party, the cake, the tequila,
everything. Balloons,
you go with John Moran to the strip club or no? Tell me. I mean, that's right. I've seen the pictures. Nobody brought a gun, which I thought was cool.
Yes, that was positive.
All right. I think that's all right. All right. This week, Florham Park, New Jersey. Sounds like a beautiful place. That's where Aaron Rodgers had his spring debut as the new Jets quarterback. And he took snaps, and he was in OTAs. Do you know what OTAs stand for?
Organized team activity.
That is correct. It used to be optional, wasn't it? Was it like optional team activities? But I believe them now to be organized because they're not really that optional. So he inspired everyone. His head new coach, Robert Saleh, said that now his team can win the Super Bowl. His on-field participation was cut a little short, right, because he tweaked his calf a little bit. But so there's a lot coming out of this, and I don't know that any of it's real juicy and meaty and that kind of stuff. But I think for me, the biggest thing was, and it feels obvious, but it doesn't because it's this guy. Like flat out, they're OTAs. They used to be optional. Now they're organized. But why did Aaron Rodgers actually go to OTAs? It's something he didn't normally do.
With a new offense being my first year here, I really wanted to be around for at least some of the beginning things to just let them know kind of how I like to do things. Like I said, some of the code words, some of the little adjustments, some of the ways I see the game, sparking that conversation. The worst thing you can have is sitting in a meeting and have a coach up there just talking the entire time with no interaction. So that might be the standard at some places, but I just never feel like that's been the right way to do things. It needs to be a free-flowing conversation between the coaches and the players. It needs to be feedback. You need to call on guys. So I'm, allowed to do some of that stuff, and I think it's important just so guys are paying attention and they can know at any point they can get called on to answer a question about something. And so just being here with Hackett to help him put the offense in. Obviously, it's the same system that we kind of tweaked between 19 and 20. And ran in 20 and 21 when he had a lot of success. So it's been fun.
All right. So he's there, and it's, they need to know how
That is like full teacher mode. You never know. Pop quiz. Bill, answer the question. What?
I think things will change.
Zach.
Well, just his presence, right? It's going to make things change.
Oh.
Does a guy like that, does it become his room immediately? It kind of does, right?
Yes.
I mean, you got a whole team, and everybody else has been there. Not everybody. You got a lot of new guys, but the core has been there. But a new guy shows up and it's like, boom.
The core is young. On the offense,
the core is young. No, 100% they're young, but they're the core, right? And now that guy walks in and you just instantly yield. Right?
Yeah, because you can think about it. It's 2 second-year guys, right? Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall.
Right.
You got a Rodgers guy in there, Allen Lazard. So everything morphs to him.
Well, so what about him speaking up on meetings? Is this something that he just told you he's doing it. Why? How does that work?
No, I've always done that. I don't know if they're used to that around here. So just trying to set the standard for really nice open communication in all those meetings. And I think the biggest issue sometimes in the offense is the gray area between the paper football and the actual football. So just trying to bridge the gap between what might say on the might say on the the overhead slide, but how it actually plays out on the field, and then just working in code words and conceptual things for the guys that would be remedial for guys who've been in the offense for 3, 4, 5 years, but with a new offense, just some of those things to. Little cheats in the offense to kind of hit their brain a little bit differently when the play's called to thinking about the right stuff.
So it's his. I mean, it's that answers the question.
Are you on board with Robert Saleh, Mr. Symbieta? He said he believes, and he said this out loud, the New York Jets are one of 6 to 8 teams that can win a Super Bowl next season.
I believe that there might be a few more teams in that pool, but yeah, I believe, can they? I don't believe they will. I believe there are 4 or 5 teams better than them in the AFC. But can they? I just watched a playoff in the National Hockey League where the 8 seed, and it's a very physical, very tough game. I watched the 8 seed go all the way through and get hot. I'm watching the 8 seed in the NBA get hot and go all the way through. So I watched a 5 and a 5 and a 4 and a 7 get to the Final Four in the NCAA. So am I going to sit around and just tell you that I think only the favorites are capable of winning? No. I agree with him that his team is capable. Would I bet on his team to win? I won't. Because I think Buffalo's better. I think Cincinnati is better. I think Kansas City is better. Well, all right. Those are the only three. Those are the only three that are definite. I want to see the rest of it.
And then we get a chance to see.
Yeah.
The Jets and Bills twice.
No. So do they have a chance? Yeah. But I'm not betting on, because I don't know that I think that they're better than Miami. I don't know that I think that they're better than Baltimore. I don't know that I think they're better than the Chargers or even the Raiders.
You know they're better than the Chargers.
Why?
Because they're the Chargers.
Regular season Chargers can beat them.
Chargers going to Charger.
No, I know that. I promise they'll Charger. No, I'm not telling you I think the Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl. But do I think that they're capable? Yeah. Here's what I've learned a lot. And I've learned a lot of things. The best team doesn't always win the championship. Okay? Go back in time. The best team doesn't always win the championship. That's why they have playoffs, man. If the best team won, the best teams, except for in the NBA, is determined over the course of a long season, right? Because it doesn't matter in the NBA. But if you play 82 games or 162 games, or in this case 17 games, usually you've got a season story to tell, and you got a best team. Now, you got, injuries, and they're healthy now. Oh, okay, and that's why we have playoffs. You'll never convince me that New York Giants team that beat the Patriots in that Super Bowl was better than the Patriots, but they're champions, right? There's a difference between champions and the best team very often. So can they win? How do you feel about that statement?
It's one of those that the immediate headline is you're like, oh, get out of here, Robert Saleh. And you start thinking about it, and you're like, I think the Jets are absolutely one of those teams. Now, because if you get through the AFC gauntlet and you're talking about 6 to 8 teams, you get to the NFC and we're reaching for 3 to put on that list.
So here's what's going to happen in the NFC. You've got 2 teams that you like in the
Someone's going to shock us.
I promise. So you like the Eagles and the Niners like everybody else does, right? There's going to be a couple of teams that come out in the NFC and are legit. And I don't know who it's going to be. It could be the Cowboys. It could be Seattle. It could be the Lions. It might be the Packers.
And everyone's on the Lions.
Yeah, everybody's on the Lions. It might be the Packers.
The team that's going to be there going to be the Saints.
The Saints might be good. The Vikings. Look, the Vikings were a 12-win, 13-win team last year, right? Just because they lost in the first round of the playoffs, everybody's dismissing them. They were pretty freaking good, man. So I'm not going to argue with you when you tell me the AFC's better overall. And the only reason everybody tells me that is 100% about quarterbacks, right? Because you're going to tell me that all but one of the best quarterbacks is in the AFC. Okay, you're probably right. And it's a quarterback-driven league. But I promise you, there's going to be 2 to 3 teams that emerge from that pack, whether it's Detroit or the Giants or the Cowboys or New Orleans or Seattle or Green Bay or Minnesota, that are pretty damn good. So I don't. Now, would I bet the AFC to win the Super Bowl right now? I would, because I think Kansas City's terrific. But so that's a long answer. But you think he's legit on that, right?
I do. And even if how difficult the AFC is, I get it. But I think all those teams are legitimate players in the postseason. There's that, to me, on a different shelf, believing in Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. I mean, Josh Allen could play with those guys. And then just a bunch of good teams after that. Because I'm really interested, too, in this new look Ravens team.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of refocusing offensively. New offensive coordinator. And the balance for Lamar Jackson. He says he wants to pass more. He's going to get that opportunity. But can he be a better passer? But not forgetting, still what makes you special.
I'll buy into that. All right. before we get off of the Rodgers stuff, so Nathaniel Hackett is their offensive coordinator. Nathaniel Hackett was the offensive coordinator in Green Bay. You might remember him as the failed coach of the Denver Broncos. What did he last? 10 games? 9 games? It was a disaster.
Wasn't great.
It was about as bad
as it gets
of a head coach run as it gets. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a really good coordinator. You can have a great career. You can make a lot of money. You can make a big impact. You can do a lot of great things. There's nothing wrong with it. Reunited as Rodgers and Hackett, and you heard him. You heard Rodgers talk about Nathaniel Hackett. Here's Rodgers at Jets camp or at the OTAs talking about reuniting and having Nathaniel Hackett running the offense.
Yeah, man, I love Nate so much. He's so fun to work with. He has the ability to bring the same type of crazy energy every day without, any, stimulants. I don't think he drinks any coffee, but he's just the same energetic guy every single day. He's got a great way of teaching, where it is interactive, and him and I spend a lot of time, after hours, just going back through certain concepts that we like, renaming a few things, subtle adjustments, stuff that we've done that he might have forgot about, and then reintroducing some new concepts that he's kind of brought back from other places he's been, because he was in, he called plays in Jacksonville and Buffalo, and obviously worked with not just his dad, but John Gruden and some great coaches around the league. So it's a conglomeration of all the different things with a base in the West Coast offense. So him and I have a commonality with the language and stuff, and it's been great. I love him so much.
Yeah, and there's something to that. Like, this is no secret. When did they sign Nathaniel Hackett? Like when they were wooing Rodgers, right? This was a process, not a decade and a half long process like they have in Philadelphia. This was a couple of months worth of process that is yielding something that's really exciting around the Jets. I don't know with Sean, and DC. We have got Sean is a Jet fan. He calls us all the time. You'll learn his accent during football season. Great dude, right? But Jet fan should be excited. First of all, it's been a long freaking time since you've been excited about anything, and now you know your window's really tight, right? What are we looking at? 2 years probably with Aaron Rodgers. So you got a tight window. You've got one of the best young receivers in the game. You had a great young running back before he got hurt. He should be healthy. You got a fantastic dynamic defense. I think your offensive line's good enough to hold up. JJ, go back to when you asked, is that real? Yeah, it's real for all those reasons. All right, when we come back, quarterbacks and money, right? We talk about all the time. I don't know how many hours we sat here and talked about money and quarterbacks and Lamar Jackson. Well, you got a quarterback, and this is refreshing. And he says, yeah, I'm getting mine, and I want to get as much as I can, but without saying I got enough, I want to win. He kind of said, yeah, no, I'm getting enough. Oh, by the way, he's the best one out there. We'll talk about that next and why that message is so refreshing as we continue with NFL stuff and OTAs going on and quarterback money. Protect yours. Protect your money, your home, your house, your business. International Protective Service, IPS, protects my home. I've trusted IPS for years. I was just gone this week. I watched on the security cameras. They come by every single day. Make sure my house is okay. I've had packages dropped off. They pick it up off the porch so the porch pirates don't get it, and they return it when I get home. Garbage day was Monday. They moved the garbage cans back. They pick up mail, newspapers. They give your home that lived-in look, and if your alarm goes off, IPS responds within 5 to 7 minutes with armed, trained security officers. This is affordable private security because property crime is on the rise, because officer shortage continues to be an issue, because response times are getting longer and longer, and you need to protect what you've worked so hard to build. Watching your home or business with highly trained armed guards or 24-hour patrols, IPS is committed to our city and your protection. Give them a call. See what they can do for you, your home, your business. 505-897-2420 is the number. Area code 505-897-2420 or online at ipsglobal.com.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Dream Style Stucco. Stucco is the way to go. A Southwest tradition, beautiful and durable. The perfect combination. Your favorite color, your favorite texture. You're gonna love it when they put it all together. Through any weather, nothing looks better. From the smooth to the rough, they really know their stuff. Nobody does stucco like Dream Style Stucco.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one, cover it with...
I'm going to get paid. I get it. Quarterback's going to get paid. It's the opening drive. I want to hear from you today. Miss you. Been gone for a few days. Was at some league meetings. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Say hello to DC. He's our new producer. We went A. Marie to DC. So you just like DC? There's going to be something to it. I saw the note. Producer DC. I'm not sure I'm down with it. Is that what you want to be?
You know what? I'm the dude behind the glass, so whatever works.
I don't know. I always kind of really have mad respect for the person back there. Like, you work way harder than we do, and I've got mad respect for the people back there. So I want you to be, who you are.
We'll start with DC.
Right,
see where it goes.
Let's see where it goes. Let it organically grow.
Right. Well, maybe someone will give us some help on the phone lines.
Yeah, that's good. All right. I got a bunch of welcomes to you, by the way, on the emails, and it keeps coming in. Does DC, with Lobo Hobo says, does DC know about the hoe? Do you know about the hoe?
I have heard that, but I don't know where it comes from, so I'd love to learn more.
All right. Well, on Friday, we'll educate you on the hoe. Our original producer started the hoe way back 15-ish years ago, back when you were just a wee lad.
That goes all the way back.
Yeah, well, that one goes all the way back.
15
I don't know how the
years.
hell we made that. We made that last. I don't know that we should. All right, so Patrick Mahomes get paid. And I guess when you're in his position, you can say the things he's saying, but you don't have to. And so I'm going to respect Patrick Mahomes for saying what he's saying. The obvious is Patrick Mahomes is going to get paid. Patrick Mahomes is getting paid. Patrick Mahomes, whenever he gets paid again, is going to break the market, right?
Yes.
Okay. So he was asked about money, and I don't know how this came up. And it was probably coming off of Lamar's contract. Patrick Mahomes isn't the highest paid quarterback in the league. Is there anybody who thinks he's not the best quarterback in the league? I mean,
It shouldn't be.
Who's the argument? Joe Burrow? He's not. He's won Super Bowl. Like, how long this will last, we'll see. This is a generational different cat. Okay? So he said, quote, I've always said I worry about legacy and winning rings more than making money at this moment. We see what's going on around the league, but at the same time, I'll never do anything that's going to hurt us from keeping the great players around me. So it's kind of teetering on that line. End quote. And then he continued later. And this is where, thank you. Quote, it's not about being the highest paid guy. It's not about making a ton of money. I've made enough money where I'll be set the rest of my life. But at the same time, you got to find that line where you're making a good amount of money, but you're still keeping a lot of great players around you so you can win these Super Bowls and you're able to compete in these games, end quote. He also said, and I'm paraphrasing here, I don't want to do something that's going to hurt the next guy down the line. Like, he didn't want to undercut the market where the next guy isn't going to get his, right?
Well, he doesn't have to worry about that now.
No. And that's what's crazy about it. He's not up to get paid right now. Look, when you're that guy and you know you're going to get paid and you're going to get gazillions, you can write the check and just have the owner sign it. I guess it's easier to say it when you're in that situation. But that's the first guy I've heard say, man, I don't know, without saying I've got enough, he almost said I got enough. Mm-hmm. And let these other guys eat too, because I can't win without Kelsey and without a line and without right?
To be successful, you have to have that flexibility,
and
you
want
to get
Tom Brady model.
Yeah, you want to get your money, you want your guarantees, but you still got to have players. I don't know what we're hearing out of Joe Burrow too, because he's ready to get his first mega deal, but he understands, there's Jamar Chase and T. Higgins out there, and I want those guys on my team.
That's right.
And when you look at Patrick Mahomes, and when he's 7th in average value, his contract is making only $45 million a year.
He's way behind Russell Wilson on that.
Yeah, but still, the way he constructed it, dude essentially has a $500 million contract.
Look, I've never been in that situation. I'd love to be able to speak from experience. I don't know how much is enough. What's enough, right? We say this all the time. I hear, well, he doesn't need any more money. But everybody likes more money, right? I don't know how much is enough. I don't know the difference between making $45 and $48 million a year. I really don't. I'd love to know that difference. That'd be wonderful, right? What my paycheck? We did an exercise the other day, right? You get 17 paychecks, right? Because in the NFL you get paid by the paycheck, or by the game check, and at $45 million a year, each paycheck before taxes is $2.64 million. So what are you probably making $1.5 million every week after taxes? I mean, I don't live in that world, man. And how much do you spend? How much can you possibly? So I don't know, but this is one of the first guys who are saying, look, I make enough, without saying enough. I'm good, man. Let these other guys eat. Because I can't win without that dude and that dude and those dudes and those dudes, and I need to take care of them.
The happiest people is Kansas City front office.
Sure.
They're like, whew, thanks, Patrick.
Well,
thanks for that message, so it doesn't have to come from us.
But it's got to come from everybody. And that's why did Tom Brady win so many?
He's the best quarterback of all time.
No, that's right. You got to be really talented. I'm not telling you Russell Wilson could have done that. I'm sorry, that's a bad example. maybe it's not.
Comeback season.
Kyle Orton couldn't have done that if he just decided to spread the money around, right? But my point is, it is one of the most refreshing things to hear. Whether he believes it or not, he's saying it, right? And I think he believes it. Like, I got enough, and I'm gonna get more. Like, he knows the next one he gets.
Yeah.
The next one is probably going to be what? Like an 8-year, $600 million.
He's on a 10-year deal right now.
Yeah.
And he knows that if he doesn't renegotiate and he hits his incentives, he does his thing, he plays it out, he's going to get $450 million with the contract he's on right now. And that is almost close to double the next highest contract.
I mean, look, you guys, I'm not going to talk about other people's money in a way that, it's not mine. And so I don't know what enough is. I really don't know what enough is. I'd love to. But when I hear a guy like that say, man, I got plenty. How do you not like that guy? How do you not root for that guy? Well, he's Kansas City. I'm a Bronco fan. I know I got that part. But I don't know. All right, we talked about Brady. Brady is evidently is bought part of the Raiders now. Is that right? And so he's going to be on Fox, not this year, but next year. And my inclination is good for him. Here's Adam Schefter on from ESPN. This is courtesy of ESPN on Tom Brady buying part of the Raiders.
We have Tom Brady in deep discussions with the Raiders and their owner, Mark Davis, about becoming a limited owner in the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, it would be a passive ownership. He would not be involved in day-to-day decisions with the franchise. It would not be like he's sitting in the war room or telling his former offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, what offense he should run or types of players he should have out there. But there have been discussions going on for weeks. It certainly seems like it is on a path to happening.
So this sounds like it's an investment, right? This is, I got a bunch of money or I got some money laying around and there's a hemp company starting up and I put some money, I bought a little piece of a hemp company, right? That's what this is. And good for him. I mean, like everybody wanted him to stay involved in the game, didn't they? Well, Tommy's not going away. Tommy's good for football. So this is Tommy's next step. Michael Jordan's an owner. How much do you? But he's like a more controlling owner. I got no problem with this. This is good for football.
This is passive, and this is one that. It's why he could still be the broadcaster, Tom Brady, because then he wouldn't be behind the scenes and then meeting with other people and having to try to have conversations with other franchises. Just low investment.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good with all that. All right. 505-246-0610. Take part in the show today. We're open for you. Meet DC. He's our new producer. Come on in. I'm going to get you some of your correspondence on the Chicky Nuggets. I got all kinds of stuff for you. We got I want your thoughts. I know you talked about Isaac Mushila. When we come back, we're talking a little Lobo basketball. And the 6'5" scorer and rebounder and stud. I'm going to tell you of all the high-profile guys. I'm going to tell you coming up next why this guy might be the silent gem in this transfer class. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your coverage from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Weekday afternoons from 4 till 7 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Global basketball should be pretty good, huh? Global basketball should be pretty good. One scholarship still available. Gopher asked the question, where are the touches going to come from, Jeff? Okay. When Alec left, he said he was getting a lot of playing time, but not a lot of quality playing time. That's not exactly what he said. He wanted the ball more, right? He got a lot of, I mean, how could you say Josiah Alec's playing time wasn't quality? They were all quality guys. Well, most of the ball-heavy guys he played with, a back plus a bushel of new guys, are back plus a bushel of new guys that all need the rock in their hands. How's Pitino going to keep everyone happy if he couldn't keep one guy, Josiah, happy? Says Gopher. Well, I got to believe everybody understands the role they're coming into. I got to believe that everybody looks at a roster and realizes, all right, House and Mashburn are on that team. Nelly Joseph Jr. or Junior Joseph, Nelly Jr. Joseph is on that team. The guy they got this week, Isaac Mushila, the transfer from Corpus Christi, two-time all-conference guy, newcomer of the year in that conference. This is, to me, JJ, like the sneaky one that when you sit around in January, you're going to go, wow. It's a veteran guy with a psychology degree who's comes from a different part of the world, who by every account is really, really bright, who played his best in the biggest games, played really well in their NCAA tournament when they were in the first four, Corpus Christi. He played well against Alabama. And he plays defense. You know what this feels like to me? I look at their transfers, right? You know what this feels like to me? The model, and I don't know if this is intentional or not. It's very San Diego State-ish. Guys that were really good at places that fit a system. I think these are guys that play defense, right? And so now to Gopher's point, do they all want the ball in their hands? Everybody's going to want their touches. But I got to believe everyone comes into this one eyes wide open. Because even if Richard wanted to tell him something, and he doesn't, it's pretty clear what you're walking into. You're not going to be the guy. The guy on the team is those two returning guards. House and Mashburn are your guys on this team. They're on the poster right behind you. They're and they're going to be on next year's poster, and they're the guys. All right, but I look around and I say, all right, you went out and got two legit bigs that played at a good level in Amzil and Joseph. You got in Mushila and Baker, you got swing guys. What did I tell you? What was the one thing they didn't have last year? Guys who could play on the wing, that could play big or small, that could defend, that could score. Mushila's going to score, dude. I love on paper, and you know I'm that guy for the last 27 years. When they come down the ramp in shorts, I'll get excited. But this feels very much like how San Diego State builds through the transfer portal, doesn't it? Plus with the two freshmen.
I think the Mushila piece is going to be really fun to watch because that's the grit and the grind that you need. Because you have the flash, you have the backcourt, you have the stretch forward in Amzil, Nelly Jr. Joseph, true defensive post presence, blocking shots, weak side shot blocker. And then you got Baker that can score off the wing. And then Mushila is I think he's going to settle into the role that Josiah Alec had. And that is, you need just a grinder. Guy that's going to be outside. He plays bigger than a 6'5" frame because you almost average 10 rebounds per game. And you need that balance. And right now, looking down, you can ask the question, who's going to play? Well, I'll tell you, I know 7 guys are going to play.
Those 7 guys are going to be Mashburn and House, Joseph and Amzil, Mushila and Baker. Is that 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Dent.
Yeah,
and Dent. And so now you got, and then throw the 2 new freshmen, right, into the mix, and Toppin and True. And then the 2 red shirts that are coming back that they really like, and Quentin Webb and Braden Applehans. That's 11 dudes that are really in the mix for playing.
Mm-hmm. And
then
really, when you look at this,
Forsling's going to get a few minutes a game to spell a big guy.
And when you look at this is roster building this day and age. Is could True Washington and Jaden Toppin play minutes somewhere? Absolutely. Will they play a lot of minutes on this team?
Not a lot.
Probably not. If things break the way the Lobos want them to break with the veterans they have in. But what does that mean? It means you have true freshmen that aren't on big NIL deals. And then next season, what happens? Jalen House, Jamal Mashburn leave the program, and then who steps into those NIL deals?
Well, so does Mushila. Mushila's a one-year guy. Like
your True Washingtons, your Jaden Toppins. So this is forward thinking of, hey, we got young talent that's inexpensive right now because they're true freshmen. Those holes open up. We believe these guys can develop into big things. Here's your NIL deal. Here's your playing time. Let's go.
And the reason I say this is reminds me so much of the way San Diego State does it. Is now they got Matt Bradley from Cal, right? They have gotten guys in the past from like Washington State, right? That's where Malachi Flynn came from, right? But when you look around at the Jaden Ledis, guys who really played well for them, some of their transfers, you start going, wow, that they weren't all Power 6 transfers. They were all from good program. And when you say Corpus Christi, that's a nice program in the Southland. Iona, Rick Pitino was there. That's a good program. Dayton is probably a little better than you, right? I mean, historically, Dayton, right? It's so reminiscent, man. And what Richard and this staff did is fill the holes. He realizes this is a year, right? I mean, we sat here a year ago and said, you're getting those 2 guards back? This was considered one of the best backcourts in America last year, and they're both back, right? You realize I've got dynamic, but they're small. So you went out and got some length in the backcourt. You got defense and rebound. You got length up front because you lost your 2. I mean, on paper, this should be really, really good. Like, this is something to get excited about. It really is. Go to John Thomas Jewelers and start making rings. Nah, I guess you don't make rings yet. Do you make preseason rings? Is that a thing?
Paper champion.
Yeah. I guess Gopher responded. He says, I guess my response is everyone feels great in May, but it's a whole different in November when reality hits and guys aren't getting off the bench or getting their normal stat line. Now, it depends what their normal stat line is. Where are some of these guys going, right? For Jalen Tovar, and that's always the one to look at. I got to believe everybody's coming in this eyes wide open, right? You know you're not going to be the guy. And Gopher, we'll see. But JJ's, you brought up this point months ago. Somebody's got to be a role player. Everybody can't be the guy. And I know I'm keep going to San Diego State, but they went to the final game of the season this year. They played the championship game. Look at that team. Now they all want theirs in NIL now. But everybody couldn't be Matt Bradley, right? The Ledis and the Parishes and Parish came from Oakland. Ledee came from TCU, I want to say, right? But everybody in the guy. They all had a role. They went 9 deep, right? Brian Dutcher would do a line change. He'd bring 4 guys in at a time. I got to believe that's what Richard's hoping for, is something along those lines. And I keep using them as an example because they came out of your league and went to the freaking championship game. The Gopher, we'll see. If everybody needs the ball and needs to score 18 a night, then it won't work. But if everybody understands, hey, I got a role to do, and that's what I'm coming in, it could work. And that's how it does work. But you got to have the right individuals. 505-246-0610, or you can send emails like Gopher did at Jeff@sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Celebrating something? Maybe you're getting engaged? Got a big anniversary coming up? John Thomas Jewelers is the spot. My favorite jeweler, not because John's a great guy and he's become a friend, but because the place is unbelievable, because it's so different than every other jewelry store that you walk into. First of all, you got to want to get there, right? You got to go to the third floor of the Lewis University building. You go up the elevator and you walk in and you go, okay, this is not a mall jewelry store. You're not getting high pressure to buy something out of a case. No, this is different. If you're looking for an engagement ring, you'll make a beautiful custom piece. They do more custom jewelry in a week than most jewelers do in a year, and it's more affordable than you think because they do it right there on site. They don't send it out of state. That's where the cost comes in. John and his team are incredible jewelers. They are experts in what they do, and they'll walk you through the process. Jeff, I don't know about designing a ring. No, nor do I. They'll show you different stuff, and you just say, oh, I like that. Okay, let's add this. Ooh, I don't want that. Different stones, different sizes. It's unbelievable. They're the only master IJO certified jeweler in Albuquerque, 5-star Google rated, and the only preferred jeweler in Albuquerque. That makes them the only jeweler in town that gives a free lifetime nationwide warranty. And listen to this now. With any purchase of $5,999, that's $59.99. They're giving away a 7-night all-inclusive trip to the Dominican Republic. Perfect for couples who are looking to get engaged. You get the ring, you get the honeymoon. Perfect for couples looking to celebrate an anniversary, jewelry, and a trip. Or anyone just looking to get away. And this isn't a contest. Any purchase of $59.99, the trip is yours. All the food, all the drinks, the tropical destination. You get this gift while supplies last. John Thomas Jewelers. Go to johnthomasjewelers.com or go visit them on the third floor of the Lewis University building, 1 block south of Manal on Louisiana, just to the east of Coronado Mall. If you can dream it, they can make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Party when I was gone. That was all planned, right?
Yes, that's exactly the way we planned it.
Yep.
But she was sad you were not here yesterday.
Yeah.
But
Did she cry?
She got a little emotional. You had some great callers, people saying thank you, appreciate
all right, good
energy, what you brought, positivity, which is always nice.
If she didn't cry, she didn't care.
I was just, it was too little too late on my part. I was trying to get
bring
some more
burrito?
back on the deal. I don't think we got it.
We got not enough on the buyout.
Yeah. They sent
We
us
get
like
enough to pay the new guy?
2043 first round pick. I'm like, well, we can't use that.
He's a 2043 first round pick.
No, I'm talking about
Oh.
from KKOB.
Okay.
Like part of the compensation package.
So we get the new guy in. I mean, like, do we have enough to pay him?
Oof.
on the buyout.
That was actually, honestly, when it came down
Does
to
he
it,
know that?
we just could not afford Amory's NIL deal.
That's probably right. Her NIL numbers have just skyrocketed.
It was just too much.
Just skyrocketed. Yep. All right. I'm going to reset you at the top. Who you got tonight? Heat and Celtics. Call your shot. Are you buying into the momentum has changed and they're going to make
have
history?
some roster news.
We have roster news
with that game.
With that game?
Yeah.
Is it important?
It's very important.
Well, that's next. Holy smoke! Oh, we got roster news, and it's not that just DC to join the roster. Like no, it's not quite that big, but it's pretty big news. All right, who you got? I want to hear from you at 505-246-0610 or however else we correspond. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Animal. What's your roster news?
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at U.S. Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with U.S. Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from U.S. Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At U.S. Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. Come on. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Now, breaking news. We've never had a breaking news sounder, have we? Now. That is a big deal, I think. Going into Game 5 tonight, Eastern Conference Finals, National Basketball Association. Heat looking to close out the Celtics in Massachusetts, and JJUT's going into the break. A big roster piece of news, and the casual fan's going to go, yeah, whatever, and we'll explain to you why it's a big deal.
What happened late in Game 4 on Tuesday, Gabe Vincent turned his ankle, and it's a bit of a problem because the Heat's starting point guard, Gabe Vincent, has been ruled out for Game 5.
Yeah, whatever, says the common fan who hasn't really been watching. Well, at least it's not Jimmy Butler. Dude's averaging 17.5 points a game during the finals. He is shooting 58% in the series. He is shooting 50% from three-point land. Like, he has hit some big shots, and they are already without probably their best three-point shooter in Tyler Hero. Victor Oladipo is not playing. They got a 3-1 series lead, but Hero's out with a broken hand. He broke it in Game 1 of the playoffs against Milwaukee. Now, evidently, he's got the brace removed and he's working out, but there's no timetable for him. This is a big piece of what they do,
It opens that door a little bit more. You lose your starting guard. Usage is going to go up even more for Jimmy Buckets in this game. He's still got a great two-man game, and that's the Heat is not just Jimmy Butler. Bam Adebayo is that dude on both ends
just gonna ask you something.
Of the floor. So they do have that true duo. But then you start looking down a little bit. You're going to need more out of Kyle Lowry. He can soak up some of those minutes tonight. Duncan Robinson is a player.
Those are your two guys, right? One of them is going to have to get hot. Duncan Robinson can get hot from outside, and Kyle Lowry has had a game or two in him. I mean, do you get veteran Kyle Lowry step up here and be the guy? So you got guys to go to. More underappreciated, undervalued guy in NBA circles. Jimmy Buckets, Bam Adebayo.
It's Bam.
Because Jimmy gets his run every playoff year. Yes. Like during the regular season, we never once, when we talked about best players in this league, never once do we say Jimmy Butler.
You know why?
Because he's
good. But Jimmy Butler has as many 40-point games in his postseason career as he does in his entire regular season.
Which is insanity, right?
Yes.
So did he make All-NBA? He didn't, did he?
No.
Like, he's not even one of the, according to the people, one of the 15 best players in the league. But give me a guy who, like, this time of year, give me a guy you want instead of him. You might say Steph. You might say Giannis. You might say Embiid. And, by the way, none of those guys are playing. Right? But honestly, if you were going to start somewhere, would you say Luka Doncic or him?
Like, starting a franchise.
See,
those are always, like, because if I'm just talking player, I'm taking Butler.
It's what's
right
your goal?
now,
Your goal is to win a championship, right? And we're learning right now, and this is, again, my rants on NBA regular season are not going to cease. But when you're going to tell me that 10 out of 15 teams get into the tournament, and I just watched a 7 seed go to the conference finals and an 8 seed go to the conference finals, and an 8 seed may get in. So you're going to tell me I can win coming out of any slot, so I don't have to give a damn about November through April. When I'm building a franchise, I'm building it for May and June, all right? April, May, and June. Then find me the Jimmy Buckets. Find me the Steph Currys. Now, Steph Curry's great all year, right? This is why I firmly believe, do you think Damian Lillard's staying in Portland? Because I think he is the most, of all the superstars in the league, Jimmy Butler gets his, Damian Lillard gets his more during the regular season. But give me a guy who wins when it counts, right? And Damian Lillard doesn't get a chance to play there. It's like he's Mike Trout.
I think the Damian Lillard hometown hero act is
cute,
close to coming to an end.
Yep. You think he just says, "Man, and I'm sure
if I'm any of these, if I'm Philadelphia, if I'm Boston Celtics,
the Lakers,
I'm
just telling you,
Because if you're going to go in on a big three and have zero room for anything else.
What's the mold now? Big three or big two?
It's two. Because if the Lakers did it, it'd
Right.
be a team that it would be Dame, LeBron, and AD and no one else. They would have no.
Well,
they wouldn't have Reeves. They wouldn't.
Austin
have,
Reeves is gone. Austin Reeves is going to get paid. Like Austin Reeves, I firmly believe is gone. I don't think the Lakers can afford him. I mean, for him, he's different than Patrick Mahomes, right? Patrick Mahomes is going to keep getting it. The conversation we just had earlier. Austin Reeves, I mean, how many big contracts is he going to get? One, right? And so this is one, man, go get paid, young man. If you got to go to Detroit so you can make your, I don't know, what's he going to make, $40 million a year? In today's market, in today's NBA, $35 million a year?
That's the good on you, and that contract's going to look bad in 2 years.
No, that 100%. But go get your money, young man. Like, go find it. What would you do? Would you stay with the Lakers and AD and LeBron and say, well, we got a chance to win?
Not if I have $40 million.
And they'll pay me 18, which, again, we're all, what do you want me to do for 18 million? Yeah, fine. Right? Or go make 40 and get a bunch of guaranteed money. And that's easy, right? You're betting on yourself anyway. That one's easy. That one's easy. But so that's a big deal going into tonight. We talked earlier. I do not buy the it's going to happen for the first time deal. And I know some of you do. I just don't. Now, this makes it a little more interesting and opens the door a little bit for the Celtics tonight. But, by the way, Gabe Vincent, to me, isn't the difference in the series. Is he to you?
Not the difference. It makes the percentages that you're playing in Game 6 go up a little bit more when you lose a contributor of that level. But when you have the cushion, and it's still a cushion for the Heat, this isn't the you automatically jump on and say, oh, this is going 7. Watch out. No.
Yeah. Richard's in on JJ's Nuggets, JJ's Nugs. Jeff, if the Heat win tonight, the NBA has to push up post times of the series. There's no way we go a long holiday weekend with no games. No way they make JJ's Nugs sit around a week and a half without playing, right, Jeffy? Wrong, Richie. Richard, they got their schedule and the TV's got it set. And I believe the Florida Panthers are 9 games, 10 games without playing. Their next game, the Stanley Cup final, doesn't start for another 9, 10 games. And if the Golden Knights win tonight, they're 1 day less. We got, because of these sweeps, because of these short series, and by the way, if Vegas wins tonight, 3 of the 4 conference finals in the NBA and the NHL were sweeps. I can't remember anything ever like that. Can you?
No.
I mean, it's just bonkers to me, the domination that's been going on. All right, we were talking about the Heat in DC. Sorry about this. I know I got caught astray. So, what does Gabe Vincent mean? Right? What is he? And I can sit here and tell you. JJ can sit here and tell you. Eric Spoelstra is the head coach of the Heat. His guard now is out of Game 5 tonight with an ankle injury. Here's the head coach of the Heat talking about this young man who's not going to play tonight.
I mean, Gabe is as tough as they come. He just wanted to, he said, let me retape it. We have a lot of guys in the locker room like that. All year long they've been putting themselves out there. So, that's why he has so much respect in that locker room.
Yeah, and so, again, are you a little more cautious probably? If it's, I can go, but I can hurt it more. You know what? Let me get you for Game 6 at home.
Yes.
I got a cushion tonight.
Yes. You
100%, right?
And then you're just looking down and going, all right, Kyle Lowry, we've seen you pop. Well, now it's time to pop. Duncan Robinson stretched it out, get in a little bit earlier.
Yep, I got a cushion tonight.
Caleb Martin's been fantastic, too, for them.
So the undrafted guy out of the University of Nevada, who you saw play in the pit, him and his brother, Caleb Martin has been, fantastic. I knew he was good. Watching his game grow at that level, he's become another dude who's at some point going to get paid. He has been a difference maker. He's made shots inside and outside. He's defended. His game's complete, don't you think? He's a rounded.
Shooting well, length on a perimeter. He can handle the basketball.
Yes. No, he's been fantastic. All right. So what did Boston do? And Eric Spoelstra was asked, is there anything that the defense didn't do, his defense, didn't do that they did in the first 3 games to keep up with Jason Tatum, right? Because Jason Tatum had a big game, and Jason Tatum had to have a big game. Here's Eric Spoelstra on his own defense.
Great scores. They're going to figure it out.
Yes.
You know, at some point you have to try to make it as tough as possible. He had some good, clean looks in transition, open threes, kind of end of possession stuff. Look, there's no easy way, particularly when you get to this point. You're not expecting a great player like Tatum to have multiple, off nights. You have to do things that will exceed it. And if guys bring their A game, we've proven that we can still win.
Yeah, I that's my thing. Like, great players are going to go off at some point, especially great players who have had a couple of down games. Especially great players, and you can argue with me whether or not you think Jason Tatum's great. If he's not great, he's whatever the next level is below great. I mean, pick your words, right? If Jason Tatum, you don't think he's a superstar, if you don't think he's great, he's the next level below that. And you may say he's not great because he's not consistent enough to be great. It's a really fine line there. But okay, in these playoffs, if you want to have that conversation, you can. But he's going to go off. He's going to get his. At some point, he's going to get his. All right, when we come back, there's another change to the kickoff rule in the National Football League. And 2 high-profile coaches are not happy about this. The question one of them said is, where does it stop? Diving into kickoffs in the NFL and the game you love so much. Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Telling it like it is.
Josh Allen, Dak.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. now's a great time to have your check-in with U.S. Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Show. They kick off the season. Kickoff may become a thing of the past. The NFL continues to go down this path. Good morning to you. 505-246-0610 is how to get in. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. Are you a fan of the kickoff, like the return? Just as a fan of watching it, take the head, the trauma out, the collision. I mean, just
it's there. It's something we're just accustomed to seeing as part of the game.
And sometimes it's really exciting, right? Periodically, it's something. Wow, okay, that adds a lot. There's nothing like a kickoff return, right? Now they become less and less because the league is trying to make the game safer, and high-speed collisions, guys running full length of field, going head to head. I mean, it makes sense. So there's a new rule that the NFL owners have opted to try on a 1-year trial this year, where kick returners, so this isn't punt, right? But just kick returners, punters can always call for a fair catch. Kick returners can call for a fair catch anywhere inside the 25-yard line, and it results in a touchback starting at the 25-yard line. Okay. I guess you do the analytics, you do the numbers. Where if I start at the 25-yard line, what are my percentages, right? They're going to run the analytics. Andy Reid, head coach, Kansas City Chiefs, quote, "My thing is, where does it stop, right? We'll see how this thing goes. You don't want to take too many pieces away or you'll be playing flag football," end quote. You buy that?
No, because I will ask you, do you have a problem when you watch college football?
In what regard?
This is the college football rule.
Okay.
They've been doing for how many years now?
A few years now.
Been a while.
Yeah. John Harbaugh is the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. He's a former special teams coordinator. He doesn't like it either. He said that the Ravens voted against this because they thought that there were better ideas. Quote, "The fair catch rule, we had a chance to weigh in on that with all the special teams coaches. We had a long talk and discussion about that. We weren't for it. We voted against it. We think it's going to create more high-speed head trauma than not having it in there. That's our position on it. But we'll see. They want to give it a shot. We'll take a look at it," end quote. Not sure how I think it's going to create more high-speed trauma.
It's the majority of the time, with where they move the kickoff to, you're still kicking out of the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get that touchback. There's still going to be the guys every once in a while that are going to take their chance and try to return it, not listening to the up man or their special teams coordinator.
Yeah. Is kickoff a big part of the game to you? Do you feel like if you eliminate, let's just say they eliminate the kickoff.
Because really it's only, like, as you said, the occasional kickoff return, which is it's already few and far between. And then if you need to do an onside kick.
So I think that's why you can never eliminate the kickoff is because of the onside kick.
Unless you went to a fourth and not
Fourth
just
and
a
15
one
scenario
play
or
scenario.
something instead. I don't know. I sometimes, and you know how I feel about this. I sit in enough of these meetings.
Mm-hmm.
I sometimes feel that we change things just to change. I'd love to see the data that tells me changing the kickoff rules, taking kickoffs out, whatever, has decreased the number of head traumas. If in fact there's data on that, I'm listening. Have you seen any? Have you been?
Well, they say that it's potentially double on kickoffs.
Is that data driven, or is that we think it's double? And this is where we could say a lot of things. I don't know. I'm leaning towards these two coaches with the understanding that we want to make football safer, and so I don't know. Then stop taking guys' knees out, right? Make some of that stuff.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things like you kick it out of the end zone the majority of the time anyway. It's kind of like
so you think it's a whole lot to do.
What are you upset about?
So you think it's a lot about nothing? All right, fair enough.
So Jeff Miller, the NFL's executive vice president for communications, said that they hope that concussions on kickoffs drop by 15%.
They hope that it does. Well, I do too. So I mean, I hope it drops by 100%. That's wonderful. I hope so too. Will it? We'll see. And I guess that's the only way to find out. All right. Text line. Let me get you some of these. We talked about John Morant earlier, right? We were talking about his suspension and then the welfare check yesterday. Text line says he can flash his guns playing in Europe or South America. John Morant should be made an example of. He's bad for the NBA. Okay. There's a lot of people, and Charles Barkley said that, right? They should make an example of him. This one on the text line, 505-246-0610. Weren't last year's Lions statistically as good as last year's Vikings? The exception, leading to Minnesota's good record, being their productive defense. Lions likely good in 23 and 24. I don't think their stats, offensive stats, were very different. In fact, the Lions had like the best offense statistically in the league, didn't they? Or one of them?
They did have one of the top offenses.
In almost every category. So, they just didn't win because their defense wasn't very good. And then they used the 12th overall pick to get a running back. Just saying. And then you didn't like the linebacker pick that they had at 20-something, right? Something teen. Mud says, Jefferson, can you let us know what you know about the new commit from men's Lobos basketball? Yeah, we went through that, Mud. And I actually really, really like Isaac Mushila. I think this guy might be the hidden gem in this class. I think he's going to be the guy that grits, that plays defense, that gets rebounds, that's going to score you some big buckets. And while everybody's excited about Nelly Jr. Joseph and Amzil, can he find like Mushila could find his way into the starting lineup, couldn't he? Who's your fifth starter?
Yeah, he could. It depends on.
He could take that Javonte Johnson role.
I don't think he'd be a starter. He's not a shooter, and I still think you'd want more floor spacing.
All right.
Unless.
So is it Baker that's your?
Unless it's kind of you have like a false power forward if you start Amzil, but then Mushila. But I like the.
I love the look. So who's your starting lineup? What's your starting lineup right now?
House, Dent, Joseph, Amzil, Baker.
Mashburn's not there?
I meant yeah. I was reading down my list. I have House,
all right.
Dent, Mashburn.
You're not starting Jamal Mashburn? All right,
no,
say it again.
I'm sorry. So House, Mashburn, Joseph, Amzil, Baker. I had it.
All right.
I was just.
That's what I was saying. So could instead of Baker, could you go Mushila?
Yeah, I think matchup wise, or one of those guys is a better defender. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. Like, wait, I've been gone 3 days. What the hell don't I know? No. Wait, Jamal Mashburn's not starting. All right. No, you're good. You're good. All right, text line.
There might be people agreeing with that, though.
Without Mashburn?
Bringing one of those guys off the bench.
There's nobody who's saying don't start Jamal Mashburn.
Woo! Maybe if you change it to Jalen House.
Okay, but I didn't. There's nobody who's saying don't start Jamal Mashburn. And if so, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you you don't know basketball, but there's no explanation for saying, yeah, we're not going to start Jamal Mashburn.
Accidental hot take right there.
Yeah, sorry. Well, I heard it, and I'm like, wait a minute, what don't I know?
Whoa.
Yeah. Text line, we're talking about money. How much is enough? Text line says, how much money is enough for one to get or have control? I'd say 2.5 billion. No, 3.5 billion. Wait, 5.5 billion. Oh, wait, what the heck? 9.5 billion for starters. Okay, see, I don't know the answer. I'll take it off the text line. I don't live in the. I'd love to. Wouldn't you love to know? Like, wouldn't you just like, how much is enough? What's the difference between making 45 and 48 million a year? I mean, wouldn't you love to know what that, like, do you feel that? Do you even notice it? When you're making that much, do you even look at your statements every month? You just you know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean.
No, I don't either. I'd love to, though. Like, I mean, I would flat out love. Yeah, so would we all. All right. Oh, I didn't know that. He's a New Mexico Bowl alum. Been with the Broncos for, I think, a decade, for crying out loud. He's got a new home in the National Football League. I didn't know he was leaving. I think that's kind of a little bit of a loss for the Broncos. Actually, maybe a little bigger of a loss. Who is it? Where's he going? Next. Opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
The summer concert season is just getting started.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special.
Last decade. Would you argue against me?
No.
I don't know if he's been the most important Bronco. I think he's probably replaceable, but you need a kicker now. Like, one thing you haven't had to worry about there in a long time, you've had kickers there, huh? That's a great place to kick. Nobody wants to pitch there, but everybody wants to kick there. They all want to hit golf balls there. Nobody wants to kick. Nobody wants to pitch. Brandon McManus won a Super Bowl during his 9 seasons. That's almost a decade with Denver. Is gone. Free agent deal. I don't know how much he's making, but he's going to the Jaguars. All right. Sea level, thicker air, could be a little different, but he played at Temple. DC, the highlight of his career, he was part of the New Mexico Bowl championship team. They beat Wyoming when he played for Temple. Big win for Steve Adazio. Biggest win of his career.
They won a Super Bowl.
Steve Adazio?
No, I thought you were talking about McManus, though.
No, Steve Adazio.
Oh, that was the biggest win of Steve Adazio's career.
Because after that, he went, where'd he go? Boston College. Didn't work well at Boston College. Went to Colorado State. Worked out way less well.
He was not the dude.
No, he wasn't the dude, although he said he wanted dudes. Was his biggest win of his career here? Just asking.
Yes.
So Broncos released McManus on Tuesday. I didn't know they just didn't want to pay him or what?
Money, and he was Brandon McMissitt last year.
He was Brandon McMissitt.
77%.
Yeah, you got to be a little better than that. All right, so you need a new kicker, and you'll get one because there's a lot of kickers. Are there more kickers or more running backs available? No, really. Are there? What would be easy to replace? I need a running back or I need a kicker this week. What's easier? There's always like a. What were the brothers? What were the brothers? Remember the dude jumped around and hurt himself celebrating and blew out his knee?
Yes.
Grammatica
brothers.
Yeah, the Grammaticas.
Isn't that Anderson? Are they brothers?
Yeah, there were a couple Andersons, but they were like different Anderson families. Like Morton spelled it differently than Gary.
I gotcha.
But yeah, they were different. But yeah, the Grammaticas. What was it, Martine or which was the one that celebrated, jumped around, and blew out his knee and was out for the year?
Yeah.
That's like Gus Frerotte hitting his helmet, celebrating, banging his head against the wall. What are we doing with life? What are we doing? All right, if you just joined us, Gabe Vincent's out. He's the point guard for the Heat, not playing tonight. Little college football news in the state of Utah. Isaac Wilson, who is Zach Wilson's brother. Zach Wilson's the former BYU quarterback who is with the Jets. Signed
backing
with
up Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he's backing up Aaron Rodgers. Signed with Utah. Kind of interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah, how's that fit?
He's a highly touted kid.
Yeah. All right, let me read you some of the emails that you sent me this morning. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. Dan said, DeSantis equals Lobo fans? Should I even go through this? Regresando, Jeffrey, Juan Jose, adios, Ana Maria, y bienvenidos, Derek Charles. He believes your name to be Derek Charles. That's the DC. We could run a guess on that. We could like run a guessing game and somebody could win, I don't know, lunch with Derek Charles.
That would be 0 for 1 on Derek
No,
Charles.
I understand that. But so it's not Derek Charles, but he'll send you a lot of different forms of this.
Okay,
That'll
fair
be his thing.
I'll be looking for it.
Dan says, can you see now why Lobo fans want all their games on good old-fashioned basic TV? The more you rely on crummy net and cell phone video, the more things can blow up in your face. The DeSantis, Elon Musk Twitter announcement didn't go very well yesterday. Did you catch any of that? You didn't tune in for it?
No. Missed that one.
Did you hear about it? I guess for 20 seconds, the whole Twitter, the announcement wasn't available. They broke the Twitter. Ken wants to know, OMG, how presaged was this, Jeffrey? OD callers are 3 times winners. Who said a returning Bob Baffert's about to go on a scorched earth tour? Yep, Ken. Bob Baffert was a winner last weekend. Mike says, I already gave you that one. Board stiff. This is Gene on Round Rock Radio this morning. They're talking about the Express's defensive meltdown, Jeff. 6 points given up in the 8th inning to Albuquerque's AAA franchise when they badly needed a win. Good win for your club last night out at the ballpark. Todd says, late Friday in the OD, you asked the softball question of the month, Jeffy. Let me hit it out of the gym for you. I work for a company that had the same business process for decades. Then we added an IT department. Now there's a major upgrade or software change every few months. They have to create work for themselves to justify their jobs. Why in the name of Wienermobile are they changing the name? Because you probably have an overpaid VP in a big office somewhere that needs to show how hard they are working. Forgot we're talking about the Wienermobile. So is that why? That's got to be it, right? Would they change the Wienermobile to?
Frankmobile.
How do you feel about that? So the Wienermobile change. I mean, it's the freaking Wienermobile. There's not a better name for that. And now it's called the Frankmobile, and I'm like, why would you, like, why? And he's probably right. There's some dude with a big title in an office that's getting a lot of money. The marketing guy, and I mean, you know, you're the new guy, you're going to do it your way. Like, you're going to do it your way. It's your show now, right? We're going to do it your way. But, right, the new guy comes in, it's going to be done his way, her way. I mean, I see no other reason.
It's impossible. It's like everyone's still calling it, Mile High Stadium when you try to put a name on it, or how many people with the ball going to Bank One Ballpark. Going where?
And what's that? Quest Field is now yeah.
Just like what?
Yep. No, I get it. Hey, did you guys get into this at all? So I'll read this to you. Sid's in on the Unser Museum. Mr. Symbieta, when Albuquerque was a smaller, closer-knit city, having the Unsers in the race was our Super Bowl. And he sent this a number of times. I'd get up early Sunday morning, turn on my AM radio to hear Paul Page on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway radio network, and Jim Neighbors singing sent chills down my spine. If you had to go to a local establishment to top off on water, you wouldn't miss a thing. Chances are they had the race on 77 KOB also. And don't forget the tape delay of the race on ABC that evening. In the latter years, I'd turn on local sports where you and the rest of the stations had their main dudes at the track. KOAT used to spend their sports travel budget for the year to go to Indy, not Vegas for the Mountain West basketball tournament back in those days. I haven't heard 5 words about the race this year. There's an entire generation now that's never heard of the Unsers or Indy 500, probably including OD producer Mr. DC. It's no wonder New Mexico can no longer support a museum devoted to their best-known family. It's from Sid. You know the Unsers were from me?
I actually did not, but I am familiar with the Indy 500.
Okay. I mean, if I ask you the question, do you care more about the Indy 500 or the Kentucky Derby, I guess we'd get the same amount of right out of all of it, don't you think? Are you excited for the Indy 500 this weekend? Can you name me 3 drivers? I can't. I'm not going to pretend.
No. And this one, and I know the city was doing a lot funding wise to keep
They tried.
Unser Museum here. It was fun. And it's also one of those things that it's a challenge because you go once, you've seen it.
So that's what they tried to do to have events there.
Yeah.
So have you been there?
I have, and I loved it. It was
really
great.
cool.
So much fun.
Yeah. No, that place, they did a really, really good job. Well, it's not in the right place. What's the right place? Is downtown there? Are we going to really, this is the discussion we're going to have? It's insanely accessible on Montano, just to the east of the river. Like there was no, it's the wrong place to that. Well, Jeff, how do you get there? You get anywhere else. Now, did they do a good enough job of marketing it? Did the city make it a big enough attraction? Did that become one of those things when you go to Albuquerque, you've got to go to the Unser Museum, right? We can have that conversation because honestly, with all due respect, that should have been up there with the tram. That should have been one of our city's biggest attractions. When we had one of the biggest families in the history of motorsports who are from here. You got a street on the west side, right? The main artery. On the west side, one of the main arteries is Unser Boulevard. The museum was world class. The experience there, the stuff that you would see, and JT, the other thing they did is they opened it up and they hosted events. Mm-hmm. So I've been to galas there and dinners and they do a wonderful job. But I don't know whose responsibility that would have been, where the money would have come from. But I think the city should have embraced it before the threat of them leaving became real. I know they put up, I think, $3 million to try to keep them here and that sort of a thing. And the family is moving to Nebraska. I think it sucks. I think it's, do I think it's symbolic of other things? I don't. And, you know, I know Bob Brown really well, who's the spokesman for the Unsers. And, you know, evidently this was part of the long-term plan. I think it's a bummer to lose something that is that special. Well, Jeff, how special is it if nobody knows about it? Well, it should have been nicer. It should have been big, not nicer. It should have been bigger. It should have been more of a deal. But you're right? In a museum, like if you live in a town, what's the big attraction in Denver? Like if you got to go to Denver, you got to do what?
You know, downtown in Meow Wolf is really doing
all right.
well.
How many times have you been there?
Oh, 3 or 4.
Really?
And I will tell you, I've never even heard of this Unserved Museum, so I'm kind of sad that I didn't.
Well, and you got till the end of the week to go, I think. It was the cars in there, the displays, the uniforms, the stories, the all of it. I mean, the Unser family, Al was Al, Bobby, Al Jr. I mean, all of them. Like if you go back through the history, there's 3 families, right? The Foyts, in whatever order you want, the Unsers, the Foyts, and the Andrettis, right? And then there's been other people, obviously, but those guys, they dominated. And Sid's not wrong. When I got here, when I was at Channel 7, that was a big deal. And I never went. That's one of my regrets, JJ. I never went to Indy. That was Bob's thing. Bob was so good, and so we always sent Bob because he was that damn good at it, and he knew those guys so well. But he introduced me to the Unsers. He introduced me to, you know, all the guys around town, and we had so many good, you know, the Gallus racing team had so many. Jim Guthrie. I remember when Jim was in, the first time Jim got in was a big deal. Like, you know, Sid's not wrong. This was an Indy 500 town. But to lose something like that, it's just a quality of life thing. Now, Jeff, who's going to know? But don't you think that should have been one of those things where, wow, we have a world-class museum. So when you come to Albuquerque, things you got to do, you got to go to Old Town, and you got to go on the tram, and you got to go to the Unser Museum.
They did a good job. Like, it was very nice.
Yeah, I think that's something that we're going to miss, probably more than we realize we're going to miss, because it was special. And I just don't get the whole Nebraska thing. Like nothing against Nebraska. Everybody I know from Nebraska is very, very cool. But I just never knew the tie, the Unsers to Nebraska. But it's they'll appreciate it there, hopefully. And hopefully that stuff lives on and the Unser name lives on, because I do believe that's going to be a big miss. All right, when we come back, recap all your top stuff, everything you need to know as you hit the water cooler and run around today and talk to people. You got a big scratch in Game 5 of the NBA's Eastern Conference Finals today. Let you know what that means on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 The Sports Channel.
This is We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With You're Covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Final in the NBA tonight. Nuggets could have their opponent by tonight, who they're going to play in the finals, or they could have to wait a little bit. Gabe Vincent, the point guard for the Boston Celtics, is out.
Miami Heat.
Yeah, because he doesn't play for the Boston Celtics. All right, we're even 1-1 today. Miami Heat. He's out. Actually, I got two today, right? I called Michael Block Robert Block. Michael Block's playing in Colonial this weekend, isn't he?
He is.
Did you see the when he got the call for that, the guy from Colonial, Michael Block was the club pro who finished top 15 at the PGA Championship last week, and he got the invite and says, "Don't tell me what you're going to tell me. I'm going to tell you, you're going to make me cry." Like, I believe he's legit, but now I believe he's also got people in his ears. Like his boss was his caddy, from what I understand.
Oh, really?
And so you got to tell my boss I'm not going to be at work next week. Like, at some point, dude's got a job, right? He's the pro. He's got to go back to.
Well,
I thought it was Elisa Viejo, but it's not Elisa Viejo. I thought it was a course I played.
He's going to go back to more clients than he's ever had in his life.
Well, no doubt.
They'll be all right. I'm sure that the club is happy he's going to get one more weekend in the limelight.
And I mean, for a dude who hits freaking, he's got to hit more than a bucket of balls a week, right? He's got to play. He says he hits a bucket of balls a week. He's also going to play in the Canadian Open June 6th through 11th in Ontario, up in Toronto. So that's 2 weekends out. I guess the dude better start hitting more than a bucket of balls a week.
You don't want to throw off the rhythm.
Or just do what you're doing.
Yeah.
When do they go off? They haven't scored yet? All right, so they already got dudes out. Austin Smotherman's leading at -5. I got to find your guy on here. But you wouldn't stop. You wouldn't. like work on your game more? You just, I guess, when's he going to work on his game, dude? He's got to work. He's got to do the tour.
Yeah.
Liv evidently, and I've heard this, and this is an unconfirmed report. I heard from somebody that I usually is in the know, but that Liv has offered him like $1 million to go play on that, and it's got to be scattered events, right? Because they're not going to bump somebody for him, I wouldn't think. And then I heard Ping has offered him like $1 million sponsorship, and plus, just think about all the Ping stuff in Orange County. If Michael Block's using Ping and he pushes Ping at the club, they're gonna sell a bunch of his product. Like all the pros at your club, whatever club it is, he goes off at 12:28. By the way, he's gonna play with Min Woo Lee and I don't know who this person is. Pierson Cootie. It's Pearson. Pierceson. Pearson. What? What? No, I mean, I kind of know most of the golfers, right? Pierson Cootie, Coody. Do you know who that is? What?
That's a good one.
I don't. I mean, there's good names in this tournament, but not all of them that you know. All right, so he'll go off this afternoon. I'll put it on this afternoon. I'll take a watch. All right, so does he make the cut? Michael Block, Club Pro guy, special exemption guy. Does he make the cut this week at Colonial? There's I don't even know how many guys. Probably 154 person field. Does he make the cut?
No.
I'm gonna say he makes it like right on the number. Like at some point, it's got to run out, right?
Yeah, ride it as long as you can.
So you say take the money now. Take Liv's money. Certainly take Ping's money. I don't know what the commitment would be to
well, because with Liv, it's guaranteed tournaments. Like I'm sure if you're playing in X amount of tournaments, no cut, making money.
And I'm gonna guess, no matter what you're making it there, like your boss, there's no way your boss is gonna say no. All of a sudden, I got the guy who's the hottest name in golf. He needs to travel. Let him travel. Be here when you can be here. And if he's got to go travel 9 times a year across the globe to go play golf and make more money, because the last place guy makes like
he's not going to be on Live Golf for the next 5 years.
Right. It's probably 1 year deal.
Hey, we'll try to live on this hype, get some headlines, and there you go.
So he's not. This is where I can't wait to talk to Nick tomorrow. Nick, the director of golf from San Diego Golf Club, is going to be here because I want his perspective. Nick has told us how, as a PGA professional, how he feels about the PGA Live thing. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you're Michael Block, you're a PGA guy. You're a PGA guy, right? That's what you're a PGA pro. Do you go to Live for this like one shot? You caught lightning in a bottle. You go do it?
Yes, because you're making more money off it. Maybe your initial signing bonus isn't bigger, but you're in those guaranteed money, no cut tournaments.
Yeah, and it's not like you're playing on tour. That's crazy. Yeah, wow. The more I think about the levels of this guy and that whole, it's something.
So if that offer is there, I'm signing it. Could you be like, oh, you know what, you need to give me $5? I'm going to go take this $1 million,
ask for a couple more.
Put it in the bank, and go play those guaranteed tournaments where I don't have to qualify. I don't need a sponsor's exemption to get into the next one and have fun for a year.
He's living this the rest of his life, isn't he? I mean, he's living, and good for him, man. But like $1 million in living in Orange County only goes so far, but it's $1 million more than he had right now. All right, who you got tonight? Heat at Celtics. I don't even know. I'll find you a spread. But who you got?
Going Celtics.
Were you going Celtics before the Gabe Vincent thing?
I was.
So you think it's?
Yeah, I think they're going to make it interesting.
Boston by 8.
A little on.
Give me Miami in 8.
Heat to cover.
Give me Miami in 8, and So you looked at me kind of crazy when I took Miami in game 1 and 2, right?
And you weren't crazy. You ain't crazy.
I'm crazy, but I wasn't wrong. God, my guts tell me they win it in 6. I'm going Heat tonight. Who you like, DC? Who you like tonight?
I got to say, I like the Celtics, but that 8 points, I wouldn't mess with that. I like them straight up.
That's thick, right?
That's huge. After what we've seen, I'm shocked that it's 8.
Now, the last 2 games have been, 17 and 108 or whatever the hell the Heat won by in game 3, right? The last 2 have not been tight. Makes me feel like this. I think the Heat come out with a little bit of oomph tonight. Now, the pressure's on Boston because they face elimination. But if Boston wins tonight, the pressure totally turns back to the Heat in game 6, right? Because they're going home. All the talk now of it's never been done before. Are you going to be the first team to blow a 3-0 lead in the history of the game? I don't know. There's something about this team that tells me they take care of business. Even without, and I think to your point, Kyle Lowry has a game. I think we're sitting here tomorrow morning talking about Kyle Lowry and playoff freaking Jimmy, because he's a different, he's just a different cat. All right, Golden Knights close it out tonight too. I think Dallas wins tonight.
By the way, and then that Dallas, their captain just lost their mind. Kind of decapitated dude, and then he gets suspended 2 games. Amy Ben.
And he's out. It was a bad cross check, and he's out. If they lose tonight, he missed the first game of the year next year, which doesn't matter. All right, good stuff today. DC, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Glad you're here. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd will follow that. 2 Men On comes your way at 4, and it's Isotopes versus Round Rock after that with Josh Sushan. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more award-winning radio starting at 7:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning, not 7:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, because that's when we start. Adrian, great work today. DC, wonderful. Jared, great job. You're tremendous. Big day for you.
Huge.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
The Dell Technologies Summer Sale event starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs with Windows 11.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sometimes it's the small things that make life easier, like never worrying about being declined at an ATM when only cash will do. With your covered from US Eagle, we'll cover you, even if the money's not there. That's a good feeling. And we do it with no extra fees or penalties. It's called trust, and we think that's important, especially if we're asking you to trust us. At US Eagle, that's just part of what it means when we say people mean more.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Check it out.
What is it?
It's a time machine, bro. I could jump into the future, get my paycheck early.
I already get my paycheck early at US Eagle.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early with US Eagle Early Payday. Now's a great time to have your checking with US Eagle.
Time machine.
Your girlfriend breaks up with you in 22 hours, 53 minutes.
Wait, what? Seth?
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.